Hello LEGO fans, Bricks Unbound here with a Building Hogwarts update, and this week it is going to be a tour of the grounds of Hogwarts as they currently stand. I've done quite a bit of work in here over the last couple weeks. Might not be super obvious, but the big change over on this end is that things are elevated up. I ran out of parts to continue going that direction, but down at this end of the castle, so as it was in the last update, I did increase the height of these back tables, switched out some legs there to give them some extendable legs, to increase their height by a bit there, and then underneath these other sections I built up some supports. The idea being that I didn't want to have these types of supports for all of this area. It was just going to eat up a ton of parts, and I also wanted it to be extra sturdy under heavy things like the astronomy tower. It is still pretty heavy here, lots of weight, especially going down this middle section with where Ravenclaw Tower is at, into the library. There are a lot of pieces in those sections, so they are quite heavy as well. I put extra supports. You can't see them from here, but there is extra support underneath those sections where that particular tower is sitting. And then I was able to elevate essentially one half of what I currently have built for Hogwarts. And they still don't come out quite far enough, but all of the weight on this section is sitting back further in the middle there. So this front section that is over the side isn't in much danger of falling at the moment. Maybe if I let it sit there for too long it would, but not too worried about it right now. So I've got that up at the height I'm planning on it being at, which actually now this bridge has been built forever actually does match up height-wise to that entrance there, which is kind of nice because this has just been sitting in the middle of the layout for a very long time. So most of my time lately has been going to getting this raised up. I, of course, still need to do plenty of things to hide away these supports. So there'll be rock work that comes all the way around the front, around the sides. I'll make some adjustments still to where these supports are. Because, for instance, here, this one is not doing much. So I might be able to push it back or reconfigure things a little bit so that I can make the landscape go up a little bit better here. Although I could just also have a flat section. I'm thinking that this area underneath here, I might as well put something there. So that's probably where I'm going to stick the potions classroom. And then, of course, there'll also be a little bit more, maybe out to here going that way. That's more Chamber of Secrets related, as far as where they spill out into a bunch of skeletal remains of various creatures. And, you know, they walk along, they see the snake skin. Probably have the collapsing rock section be here because that's pretty narrow already. And of course the entrance into the Chamber of Secrets. I did finish off the walkway here. I got the parts in also to complete the rest of the snake heads. So those are in place there. Not a whole lot of else going on. I did a lot of kind of small fixes around the castle while I was working on the elevation as well. We'll keep walking around here. Got everything put back into its correct place around the Transfiguration courtyard here. Still need to add a lot of detail, maybe some color swap ups within the Transfiguration courtyard, but it's nice to have everything back in place. And now that astronomy tower is just way up above my head, like a couple of feet higher, or yeah, a couple of feet taller than I am, which is pretty cool to look up at it like that. Not a whole lot right here. I might have played it over a bit more of this that wasn't covered before. Again, this is approximately where the owlry I'm planning on putting it. I'll build my own custom one, but I have that one, the official set one, together. So it's sitting there to remind me of my plan. Here, there's going to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower is what I'm going to stick here. So Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom in one of the floors there. And then I've also been spending a bunch of time, not just in the past couple weeks, but over the past months, in reconfiguring this area around the, I guess the quad courtyard as well, be in the middle. So I've elevated actually one side of it. So that's the height that that's going to be at. The Grand Staircase Tower is not raised up yet, so it's not going to be that close to the top of it. That's still just sitting flat on the tables. Same with this other wall. But this gives you an idea of the height, and then underneath it is where I have the challenges from the Sorcerer's Stone. I had talked about the last time I did kind of a walkthrough around Hogwarts that I was going to move the first few, well, all of the challenges, so they would run along that direction. And I tried kind of laying that out a couple times, and it didn't really work. So what I've done is I've split them up a little bit. Unfortunately, this is almost up against the wall, but we'll try to get views in. So there is the Devil's Snare. We got the flying keys. Chess set here. I have to kind of shuffle along, so apologies for the shaky cam. There's the troll that they take out, and then it ends this direction with the potions room, and then around the front, or not the front, I guess, the side of the quad courtyard here, underneath is where the final challenge is there with Quirrell. And I have the section with the room requirement in it. I'm losing my words here. So room requirement on the top floor. Had good suggestions for what to put in the one underneath it. It might end up just being the other version of the room requirement where it's the place of all the hidden things. So that might be what I put in the second level. But I have that sitting up on top here. So now we can actually see, I can't back up far enough, but we can see how tall this section of the castle is. This will be covered up with landscaping. And what I did here is this isn't actually attached. I can just slide it out. It's just sitting on top of some tiles there. So that'll just be one section of rockwork here that I can just slide out of the way to look inside the castle over here. This just worked better for the spacing of it, and I know that the Grand Staircase Tower is going to be a very heavy section, so I did not want to have one of the challenges sitting under it where it might get smashed. It's just going to need to have a bunch of supports under it just with how tall it is, and then especially if I do the interior stuff for it, or when I continue working on that, that's going to add a lot of weight as well. And it was just not going to be a good idea to try and fit something under there, because it probably would have been the chess area, which has a fairly big open space in it, just with how sizing was lining up. So that's why I changed my mind. I'm not having the challenges run this way. The majority of them are running along this way, and then one over here just for the last one. Because it has quite a bit of support around the walls there that actually work as real supports to hold up this section of the quad courtyard walls. And now we're at the back of the Great Hall here. That's the Slytherin Common Room like banner set, because I'm thinking the Slytherin Common Room is going to go underneath this back end of the Great Hall. So it's again going to do a slide out rock section like this so I can easily look in on it. But I think that's where I'm going to put that. So that's what that's representing. And then down here I roughed in the spot for Dumbledore's tomb. So I still have this same build. I think I probably need to make the island a little bit bigger though, because that takes up such a good chunk of it. But that's fine. I have plenty of space that I can continue that way or even come over this way a little bit. A little unfortunate because I built in all the rock work around, or not the rock work, all the water around it. And I'm thinking I need to make it just a little bit bigger. Although maybe once I put trees on there and finish filling in the gaps, it won't look quite as out of proportion. But I think it does need to be a little bit bigger there. But the rough start of it there, not enough for a full video, just focusing on that. But thought I'd show you what I have so far. And that really about does it for this update. So a lot of things on the back half of the castle here, but it's nice to finally be getting things up to the proper heights underneath them. It really makes it feel like things are coming together and making some progress. I did run out of pieces to add more supports under the sections though, as I mentioned at the start of the video. So those parts still need to come in. Oh, I guess one other thing, probably figured this out, but the greenhouse here, I do still want to make smaller versions of it. But that will be sitting up on top of the Chamber of Secrets here, just a section, again, that I can slide on and then pull it off so then we can get top-down views of the Chamber of Secrets and get better lighting in there. But there'll just be a section of plate and tile covering this so then I can have things set up on top. I just need to build up more support walls underneath here. I have a few bricks in place for approximately where they're going to be because I still obviously want to see into the Chamber of Secrets from the side. So there'll be some kind of archway here and over here just so I can still take a look in. Okay, now for real, that's going to do it for this update. Thank you for watching. Please keep coming back for more videos.